Hi guys, Akshat here. A quick note here. In this video, the only job is that you will be able to find hundreds of jobs for any role in the world. Here is an example. I have so many of jobs for a software engineering role. These are around like 300 plus jobs. As you can see, I can keep going down and I have around 300 plus jobs available in software engineering found through the workflow that I show you in this video. And not only that, I am also able to generate resumes customized for every job in the video. So go ahead, have fun, watch it till the end. Make sure to watch it till the end so you learn how to implement all of this. Don't skip any part, and I would love to see what you do with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to find hundreds of jobs and then make sure that we use AI to build specific resumes for them. So first, let's get started on our beautiful Excel sheet. Now, you will have all of these templates available in the description, but let me show you how to use this. So you'll go to the roles tab, and in the roles tab, you can input software engineer or senior software engineer or whatever other role you're looking for. So for example, if this is like, product manager, you can just enter here, right? Or you can also just delete all of this and just enter product manager. Whatever roles you are looking for, you can just input it here. That's pretty much it. That's all you have to do. You can add as many roles or as many combination of messages you want, right? So because some roles would be listed as software engineer, some would be written as like a senior software engineer, and all of those things, right? Again, so whatever you want to write, any keyword that you want to search the job for, you can input here. For our demo purposes, I'm just going to write software engineer and senior software engineer. Then here, the only thing you want to do is you want to input the location, right? So what location are you looking for? So for example, if again, I have put this all for remote and remote jobs, but if you want, you can put Bangalore, right? Or you can put New York, right? The only thing is you can put as many cities as you want. You can also copy and paste this or paste it here and add more locations if you want. For now, we're just going to stick to remote locations as an example, right? Once you are done with that, you come to this particular place called search strings. These strings will be automatically created. You don't need to do anything here. You don't need to care about that. You just have to come here and see how many strings you want to process, right? So how many jobs you want. Roughly on an average, a single search gets you around 30 to 100 jobs in the middle of it, right? This is roughly around 71 links. So on an average, you will get 30 into 70, like roughly 2100 jobs links that you can directly apply to. But for demo purposes and simple stuff, you're just going to write yes to the first two links, right? So you're just going to write yes here, and everything. Again, we can probably go ahead and do one more yes if you want to. Once these both things are done, the only thing that we need to do is come back to the job finder workflow. And here we're going to do something super simple. Click on execute workflow. And now it will go ahead and start running through and see what links it wants to process and go through that and find me jobs from across the world in a single place. It's going to go through, do its own thing. It's going to take a minute or so to do this. So till then, go ahead and click on the subscribe button and like so that you can learn how to apply AI to your daily life and learn a lot more with me. It really helps me out a lot and I would love your support. With that, as you see, it got the job details, it has got the password, and it has uploaded roughly 300 job links here, right? Again, as you can see, it it uploaded 300 items. This is exactly crazy that I was not expecting 300 items, right? But you can see you have 300 job links available here from one after another. And I can click on any of these links and open into a job that I can apply to. And you can see you would directly enter into the apply. You directly get into this role, right? And you can obviously, you can say, also see the job description. After inputting a simple formula, you get all of these links and you can see the job description also here and simply see which job to apply and you can click on apply and you can go there. Whatever works on your front. Now again, obviously this is a massive number of jobs, right? Again, so obviously this is all pulled from Google, so there will be a ton of them. It also works on a couple of more options. The best thing is that these are all direct application links to different jobs. And as you can see the different jobs. You even found Pinterest jobs and everything else. And you can see all the companies on the left-hand side which are available, the careers and everything. Some companies obviously might not get scraped, but you still have the job links. And you can go ahead and really learn about them and see. You can some of these companies I've never heard of, but you have 300 roughly jobs that you can directly apply to. Some of them you will get links like this, right? Again, some links which you can't apply to, that's fine. The majority is still some jobs that you can apply to, and you have all of this. But now you might be like, Akshat, this takes still a lot of amount of time because you have to still go ahead and create a custom resume for all of them. So here we have a simple option. You can select a job if you want to apply to it, and if you want to apply, you can say yes. Once you input on apply, you come to another workflow, which is this beautiful thing here available. And we are just going to show you by clicking execute workflow. It's going to go ahead, and I'm just going to write this one. It's going to go ahead, look at this particular URL and create a brand new resume which fits this particular job description for your usage. I'll give you a direct PDF link that you can utilize that. So let's see, it's going ahead and creating all of this. And don't worry, I'll explain you everything. If you stay till the end of the video, I'll even give you a bonus step here. But very simply, like, again, you can see it happening right here. It's creating the resume. It's going to take a couple of seconds. AI takes a couple of seconds. Have patience. And obviously, you don't need to sit down and run this one by one. You can also just just select yes to multiple of these and let it run. Whatever works for you. Again, I would suggest please go through the job description and apply. But if you're just rage applying, go have fun. It's going to take a couple of seconds, but yeah, okay. Downloading the file, uploading the file, and then updating the row in the sheet. And as you can see here, we have a link here which is created specifically for Shipper Software Engineer 3. That's the role. And you have got all of the details available here, right? So you've got organize and let a team of people and everything else. Like again, it creates everything because again, Software Engineer 3 I'm expecting will be like a team lead role. And you see it creates specific experience to get your resume shortlisted. And it's not only that, it's also based on your resume, right? So I have a sample resume here, which I'm using as a reference. So this is the sample resume that I'm using as a reference. So as you see here, these are the 2 work experiences which are empty because very simply these are the experiences I want it to change. I don't want it to change the whole resume because very simply it should not. It should only focus on the latest relevant experience and update it to match the ATS part. And it goes ahead and updates it, and I'll obviously fix this part so it does not show up twice. But again, you see that it has created that and input all those details, which can 110% help you get ranked in the ATS higher. Obviously, you can change more things if you want. I just wanted to focus on the experience part to get you shortlisted. With that, you can technically do this for all the jobs out there. All 300 jobs, if you can obviously find much more. This one, again, I was just running the first 3 links. We have got 100 each jobs. You can obviously, if you just imagine if you run this for 70 links, you'll have 2100 jobs that you can apply to in probability, and that's just crazy. But now let's come to the actual build part on how did I build this, and let me walk you through the step. Okay, so the first things first, very simply what happens here is everything starts in this Excel sheet. Okay, so once you input the roles and the details, right, roles and location and everything else, you get a clear understanding of what you are applying for and the location. With that, I have a list of domains, right, and this is super important. These are all the most popular companies across the world, which are HR companies, which allow people to so if you are applying to a company, they're using some platform like Lever, right? So that's why you will see a lot of this will be same, right? Jobs.lever.co, right? Again, or you would have heard of the term Greenhouse, right? So these are companies which have these application processes and everything else and application software, and these are all public, right? So when people publish their job sites, they use these kind of websites. So what I did is I created a list of 30 of them, right? Again, which are the most popular ones, so that we can use them to search on Google, right? So jobs.lever.co, post.greenhouse, and everything. I have around 30 links like that, 35 links. You can add more here if you want, so you can 110% go ahead and write app.domainname.com, right? Whatever that is, you can just input that and it will still work, right? So the point is, once this domain list is there, and again, if you're looking for international jobs and everything else, this works really well. But very simply, once this domain list is there, once you have updated the keywords here and the location, these search strings get automatically created. Okay, so these are created using a simple formula that I've input here, and then it adds all of these things there. So these are, as you see, are just Google search strings. So what you can also do is Control-G and then go ahead and paste this, and you will see all of the jobs that are all available. You can 110% go ahead and Google this and everything else, and you'll see all of these jobs. So what we are doing is we are taking all of these jobs and then inputting it back into the job links sheet, right? Now again, let me bring you to N10 on how that happens, but that's the whole idea of this. So again, very simply, we are here, and as you can see, it connects to the Google Sheet account. It selects only the search items which are yes. So if you want to process all of them, just go ahead and select yes to all of them. I do it at a again, I simply would like to use 3 and then after another 3. If you are using it, I would not suggest, because you see 2100 jobs, you will get overwhelmed. Better just start one by one. But if you want to process all of them, just select all of them, right? Again, it's a simple way to navigate this. Once you select that, it goes ahead and searches all the strings. Then it comes to this code part, which is simply to update the search strings so that it can work automatically, right? And then you have the search strings which come here. So what we are using here is something called Appify. Now again, to set this up in your N10, I'm going to guide you in a second. But the only thing that's happening here is I'm using an Appify to actually go through the process and search Google on my behalf automatically, right? And I'll show you how to do that. So let me bring you to Apify, right? This is a web scraping platform. The only thing it's going ahead and doing is it's going through Google and finding all the jobs the same way I just did, like this, by putting in and scraping all these results. So I don't need to do this manually. Now, the way to set up Apify in your own platform is super simple. And stick with me. Stick with me. It's going to take a minute. Okay, now before I move on to this other part where we are clicking on find jobs, I would actually like to tell you how to click, like, get this beautiful icon and what does this icon mean. So let me just bring you here. So this is what we call an Apify actor. Right now, again, stick with me. Don't get worried. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. What we're going to do is come back here and we're going to just search for Apify. Click on Apify and then you have multiple options here. Okay, but the way you have to use Apify is by getting a credential. And the way you get a credential is you go to apify.com, which is an amazing platform, and sign up for it. Once you've signed up for it, you will see this button, go to console. And after you come to console and you will be here, you're going to click on settings. And once you're on settings, you're going to click on API integrations and you will see something like this. What you're going to do here is click on create a new token and just N10 demo again, right? I'm just going to create this, and then very simply you will get an API key, which you don't need to see and don't need to show it to anyone else. Just click on copy. And that's it. You see this button, click on copy. Once you click on copy, what you're going to do is come back again here and select run an actor or anything. Right now we're just going to choose run an actor. Once you choose run an actor, as you see, my account is already connected. But if you want to create a new account, you have two options. You're going to click on just copy and paste the same API key, the exact API key that we copied from here, and just paste it there, and you will have a new account connected. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do this, right? But once you are done this, the next step is pretty simple, right? You're just going to select an actor from a list. The next step is pretty simple. Once you've done this, the only thing you need to do is follow two more steps to get this running. You're going to go ahead and search. You're going to go ahead and get Google search results scraper. This link will be exactly in the description. You don't need to do anything. Just click on the link in the description, okay? And you're going to click on try for free. Now, once you click on try for free, it will 110% take you to this beautiful page, right? Which you don't need to do anything. And once you click on try for free, it will take you here. And that's pretty simple. You don't need to do anything. You just need to say save. That's it. Just save this. There is a problem, just put in a test field or something like that. But just save. Okay, that's it. Now this Apify actor, or just a small program that you have to run, is added into your account. So from this list, you will see an actor that I can see here, right? So Google search results scraper. And then you have to do one small thing, is copy a specific JSON format. This will all be available to download. So you can go into the description and download this whole workflow and the setup. Now you're going to take this, copy this and paste it into an actor. That's it, right? Again, this is the actor, and you can 110% look into this and do that. With that, we have this particular job. So this particular is our find jobs. It takes inputs from here, it takes inputs from our Google Sheet and creates this. Okay, now after that is done, we have just one more step left, is getting job details, right? Now, as you can see here, very simply, this gets information from this particular job where we said find jobs. It went and found all the jobs, but as you see, there are no links right now on this side. And the reason behind that, it stores everything in this dataset ID. So we are bringing this from here and inputting this. And here we select, we're going to come here and select Apify again, and you're going to select get dataset items. That's the action that you want to select, and that dataset ID, you're going to input this dataset. So if you see here, and once you have this get dataset items, you will input this particular dataset ID available on the left hand side, right? And again, it's so difficult to see, so I just mostly use Control F, and you can just you have to just drag and drop this here. Okay, that's it. It's already done, so I'm not going to do this. And then you have a limit option available if you want to use that, or you can just remove it, and there will be no limits on this whole process. Okay. With that, you come back to a JSON parser. Now, this is beyond the scope of this to explain how I built this, but very simply, I used AI with a basic of understanding of how JSON works to convert this into a format that I can directly upload into Google Sheets, right? So I parse all of this data that I'm getting from Apify and inputting this here. And then all of this simply gets uploaded into the JSON in Google Sheets, and we get all these beautiful job links that we can use. Okay, again, simple enough. There are just literally 3 steps that you need to follow. And honestly, you don't need to do any of this. If you're just looking to apply to jobs, just get into Applify, upload that, create a credential, and pretty much done. But the next step is pretty simple, right? Again, so very simply, we are using again a same format of a workflow to build a resume, right? So as you see, this is get row in a sheet. Now this takes information from this sheet in the job links format, where you have an option to click on want to apply, yes, and you have a PDF link that you have, and get a PDF link. It's pretty simple. You just have to come to this sheet and select want to apply. Only do it one by one, because again, you should technically read the job description, and if you want to, go ahead and do that. So you select want to apply. So all the jobs that you want to apply for, you just say yes, and it will automatically process that. Okay. Once you say yes, it finds all these things that are yes. So right now we just have one link, and that's why you can see it takes all that information available. After that, what I do is it takes another link which is available on this format, this processable resume link. It takes this link and goes ahead and runs a scraper to scrape the job description and everything else. And as you can see, we get all this information, right? We have all the text that is available on this. We get all the information available from there. Now, once all of this is done, it creates a copy of a template file. So as you see, you should create a resume like this in simply like in Word document and have this linked. Once you have that, what you have to do is come back to Google Drive. And if you don't know how to connect Google Drive, it's pretty simple. Click on create new credentials. You see this, you will not be seeing this. You will just be seeing a sign in with Google option, right? Again, all of this is because I'm self-hosted. We're mostly using a simple end-to-end workflow. So just click on sign in, and you will be able to find all, you'll be able to connect your Google Drive here. Once you've connected Google Drive, select the template where you have stored. So I've simply template name is John Doe init template, and you can see there are all the files. You can just search from here, and I can input that, and then I have a simple file that I'm creating. Right, this takes the name of the same file, so the job that you're applying for, it becomes the file name. So as an example, we have this particular file named as Shippo Software Engineer 3. Okay, super simple. It just copies the file of the standard resume. Now, this is one step that you have to do. In here, I've input my resume as a text. So I've copied and pasted this whole resume that I have, like again as an example. Obviously, with all of these things pre-filled, so you should already have all the information and data and everything else. Copy and paste this whole data, like just a text format of your resume. So like, whatever resume you have, just input this as a string, and that's it. Don't do anything else here. Once that is done, this will go ahead, take the job description, take the resume, and take both of those things and input that and create a new resume by updating this. You see this update document, it will now update the file that we just created here. So the file that we created here will get updated, and then it will download the file in a PDF and upload that PDF again and give you the final link. This is super simple. It automatically works. Again, it's already connected. It will create it into a binary file, and then once it is done, it will upload the file again, as you see, with the name.pdf in your folder. So if you see here, and if I refresh this, it will technically have 2 resumes, right? So it has one resume, which is the default resume that it created. So it created the resume here, this copy file, right? So I can even rename this to create a resume copy, right? And then update the resume, right? And this is very simply, this can be renamed as download resume as PDF and upload resume as PDF. Once all of that is done, it technically just takes the link from here and updates that into the row, and this is again super simple to match and everything else. With that, it pretty much works, right? It pretty much works. I have a prompt input here, which is again available with the whole workflow that you can utilize. So with this, you can go ahead and find a lot of jobs. You can create resumes for those specific jobs and go ahead and apply. Another bonus tip that I can tell you is that you can also use auto job application filler. So there are multiple jobs filler automations available in the market. So you can obviously search for them, and you can see there are multiple options, and then just go ahead and fill that automatically. So even the other details, for example, you have to fill here, the LinkedIn URL and everything else can also be automated. So go ahead and use that. But now, In case you don't even know how to use N8N, in case you don't even know how to import a workflow, the only thing you need to do is simply come here, click on create a workflow, right? And then I will be giving you two files, two different files. One is to find the jobs, so which is this file, finding the jobs, right? So job finder workflow. And the another one is going to be the resume builder one. I've kept them separate because they both do serve different purposes, though linked together as a process. You're going to come here and then you're going to click on import from file, right? You're going to see a screen here, which we are going to use the file and click on open, which is the file that is the file that you get from the download, and then you get all of these things. The only thing you have to go ahead and do here is technically link it to your account, select the document. So select a sheet, which is the same sheet. This will also be available as a template. So just go ahead and upload that and select that particular sheet. All of this will automatically get sorted, and once you select the sheet, input this, and then everything else stays the same. On the Apify side, again, same logic, just create the credential and then it automatically will work and everything else. So the easiest way to import this is going to be very simply come to credentials, right? And click on create credentials, create a Google Drive credential, right? So you'll have Google Drive and click on continue, and you will get a sign in option automatically if you're using a normal N8N. Else input client ID and client secret. You can learn how to do this on another video where we talk about credentials, but very simply input these details and then you will have a sign in option which can have access to your Google Drive. Do that, and then another option would be to click on create credential and then again search for docs, right? So you can click on continue, again connect all of this together, right? So if you see here, I already have these connected. I get the sign in option and connect Google Sheets. So connect all of these things, and you'll also need to connect one last thing, is an OpenAI chart model, right? So here, if you see here, there is a chart model which is linked to OpenAI. You will technically need to connect that also. The way to do that is you go to platform OpenAI, right? You go to this, you sign up on OpenAI and you get an API linked to yourself. Or you can also sign up for Open Router, which is this, right? And get an API key from here and link that. The way to do that is if you come here and in case you want to use Open Router, I'm just going to add a node here, search for Open Router, select this. I already have it linked. If you want to create a new credential, the only thing is sign up here, get a API key, input that API key here. I already have it, and you can select a model. You will need to have API credits or recharge any of this, or there are some also free models available right now. One of them being Horizon Alpha, which is free right now. I don't know when you will be watching this video, if it will be there or not, or you can just choose any of the other models which might be free at that time. You can see the models and everything else there. So again, completely up to you, choose what works, and then you can just simply drag this, delete this node and drag and connect this here, right? Super simple. I'll leave this node here, so in case you want to use any of those options, you can do that. With that, you can now start running this workflow for your own use cases and have fun with it. Let me know in the comments if I can help you in any way. And with that, thank you so much. And if you like the video, it took a lot of time and effort, so please like, share and subscribe to this, and I will be super thankful.